Good morning friends. In this video, I will share with you how to install RHEL 9, Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9. I'm using VirtualBox Manager for all my virtual machines and let's start. Click New. Give a nice name to your virtual machine. This is not the same as your host name or computer name. So I'll put something like this RHEL 9 and purpose I can call it DevOps, and where you want to keep the virtual disk and all the related files for this virtual machine, you select that location. ISO image, not selected. I have RHEL 9.7 TVT ISO. Download it from RedHat site. You can download it from there. Uncheck this. Proceed with unattended installation. These values are automatically, captured. You can change if you want to. OS type, distribution, version, etc. Click specify hardware. So how much RAM is required for this virtual machine? So currently 2 GB is selected and that's fine for now. And the virtual CPU 1, that's fine. Specify virtual hard disk. So hard disk size. So for this exercise, I'm going to use 50 GB large hard disk. And I will tell you why I changed from 20 to 50. Say, this option is here, pre-allocate full size. If I click it, then entire 50 GB space will be reserved for this virtual machine. So my host operating system, you might be running Mac or Windows or Linux, anything. So your host operating system will not be able to use that space because 50 GB in one shot it is blocked. Keep this unchecked. So what happens? It becomes dynamic allocation. In older versions of VirtualBox, there was an option you want to keep, you want to create your hard disk, virtual disk as dynamic. So that option is no longer here. They have replaced it with this pre-allocate full size. So if you click it, it becomes a static pre-allocation. All 50 GB will be reserved. You don't click it, don't check it, it is dynamic. So even if I've installed the OS, install packages, do my work, and if only 10 GB or 15 GB is really used, then my host operating system will still be able to use that extra space. Okay, virtually allocated to my VM. So 50 GB is still fine. For your lab, you can have 20 GB or less depending on your requirement. I am setting up DevOps related tools, so I need that much space. And I also want to do something here, increase CPU count to 2. Okay. If you want to change your system configuration, you can always go to settings and change the RAM size, change the CPU, increase or decrease as you like. You hit finish here and this machine shows up here. Okay, details you can see, configuration you have selected. Next, click settings or right click settings. Here, go to system, uncheck this floppy, no longer relevant, so remove it, and go to storage. We see ISO is attached and our virtual disk is also attached. See, I told you it is dynamic. So 50 GB is your virtual size, actual size is 2 MB only. So currently it is consuming only 2 MB on your physical disk. And this is dynamically allocated storage. So whatever I shared with you is confirmed in this screen. Go to network. The first adapter I have selected is net that will allow me to connect to the internet. I can change it to host only or bridge adapter, whichever I prefer. So for my work, I will select bridge adapter. Okay. Next, I can have multiple adapters. Bridge adapter helps me. I only get one interface. I don't have to configure multiple interfaces. But I can safely do this. Select net, one adapter for uh, internet connectivity only, adapter to enable it, and this will allow me by selecting host only adapter. I can connect my 2, 3, 4 virtual machines together. So each virtual machine can talk to one another. Okay, so I prefer both ways, net plus host only or just one bridge network. So for my purpose, this is fine. On the system, general, identity, then features, shared clipboard disable, drag and drop disable. So if you are going to set up a GUI OS, then you can enable them. Okay. For my purpose, I will need it if I'm going to use GUI. But for DevOps that I'm going to build, I'm going to use Git, I'm going to use container, and I don't need GUI, right? So that question I should have in my mind clear. Okay, the answer is clear to that question that I don't need GUI, so I keep these features disabled. And if I want, I can enable them again. But here you see, you can enable if you require. I don't need, so I'll leave them. Okay, now my virtual machine is configured. It has all the settings, so I will proceed with the start. Now this is powering VM up. That means you are booting your system. Okay, it is similar to pushing that power on button on your physical system or laptop. Here the first option, install Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.7. That is what we are going to hit the enter key on. I will hit the pause button here because it's going to take some seconds. Okay, so I see the welcome screen now. Welcome to Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9.7. Select a language of your choice. I'll go with English, United States. Continue. Okay. Now, first we will see what is flagged in red. These three items. Okay. So first finish the easy one, user settings. Give a password to your root account. If you know Linux, you know root is the admin account. Click this allow root SSS login with password. This is our home lab, so we don't have to worry about it. If we don't click it, that means I will always access the root account using the console only, not remotely through Putty or some other tool. Or you can keep it lock also. But I want to keep it unlocked with the password set. Click done twice because the password I provided is a weak one. User creation, I prefer it always. So I'll give it a name as a default user. Make this user administrator so I don't need to switch to root every time or login as root. Now, password. So you can see here it is a weak password. So I have to click done twice. Now address user settings. relative warnings. Now let's go to this installation destination. Okay, here 50 GB virtual disk is there, identified as SDA. Storage configuration. So this is where you layout, you create the layout of your disk, that is partitions or volume. Click custom here, click done, and when you click custom, you also get a choice to create the partitions automatically. So if you click it, you can see what it is doing by default. It's creating only 3 partitions. Swap, that is add on to your virtual RAM. So 2 GB RAM we allocated, and this 2 GB of swap will be supporting RAM, we can say, or virtual memory. I'll keep it as it is. And this is on LVM. But that is 1 GB standard partition. It is always a standard partition. That's a best practice also. So after SDA, SDA1 has been, you know, carved out of it. So that slice is for boot only. The another slice, SDA2, is part of volume group. This is LVM. And everything else, whatever storage was left, only leaving this 1000 KB, was assigned to root partition. Forward slash is your root partition. Okay. Now, this layout is good, but I will not go with it. So, what I need to do, I will show you. First, I will remove this partition or volume. I will remove this one also. Why? Because I wanted to see what shows up as default. Okay, only boot partition is there, and that is a standard partition. On RHEL 9, we need to create one more boot related partition. I'll show you. And that's just a few KBs large. So 1 MB is fine. Otherwise, installation is likely to fail. It has failed 3-4 times for me. So I learned the hard way. Mount point. Click this and you will notice this BIOS boot. You don't have to remember it or memorize it. BIOS boot. Okay. And 1 MB is fine. Okay. You see 102 per KB, that is 1 MB only. So 1 MB is fine. 1 MB or 1 MIB. Huh? Okay. Ensure that it is standard partition. Now we have about 49 GB left. Okay. So what we do? Click plus 1 point. Now the root partition we need. Okay. And how much size we need for it? So for me, I will get 20 GB. And it is on LVM. If not, then I need to change it. Next, select this. Select one by one. Home. I don't need much space there, but I'll keep it as 1 GB large. Well, anyways, I can keep it just 512 MB also, because this system is for my practice purpose, lab purpose. There are no real users, right, who are going to log into this system and store their files. So why waste storage space? So let's keep it short. This is good, short enough. Sufficient enough. Next, slash where. This is where all our application data and configurations and many things will go. So let's do one thing. You notice something here when I click here. Let me cancel. Select slash where again. Desired capacity. It was showing some tip, huh? Animals. That grep pop up. Yeah, it is coming. So 100 GB, GIB is 100 GB bytes, right? You see the units shown there. Okay, for slash where I'll keep it 20 GIB only and LVM. Next, okay, these two are already there. Swap is there. No, swap is not there. Swap. Let's select swap partition. 2 GIB. BIOS boot is there already. Now, so slash tmp. This is where installers or programs they keep temporary files there and then delete them. Okay, but it has to be large enough for installation to work fine. Even after the OS installation, whatever you install, okay, those installer will also require space on slash tmp. So I'll keep it separate from root. So I'll give it size of 2 GIB. If in case it falls short, I have to increase it. And that is why I'm selecting LVM so that I can always extend the partition size or volume size. Okay, this partitioning scheme is fine. We can have additionally 2 3 more partitions such as slash inside slash where there is something called slash where slash log, that is for system logs, application logs only, and we can have a separate partition for that, and slash where slash tmp for that as well. But I'll keep both of them under slash where. In organizations, in enterprises, they keep them separate. Now, let's review it carefully. The first thing is your boot. Where is it? Boot, this is. And it has to be standard partition. We are going to have only two standard partition, the boot and the BIOS boot. Everything else on the LVM. So swap that is for system only. See under system only, LVM, fine. Then slash where that is LVM slash tmp LVM, the root file system LVM, and user data that is home, that is LVM. Now, around 4.5 GB is left unallocated. Okay, so I can use this space now or later. What I will do right now, I will create one LVM, one logical volume, and call it data. You can call it anything else you like. Okay, for example, Oracle, SAP, applications, apps, and sometimes OPT is kept separately. So you can have another volume called slash OPT. Some organizations prefer USR on a separate volume. So you can have data as well. For my purpose, I will have just something called data. And I'll allocate everything to it. But wait a minute, what kind of data I'm going to store there? I'm not building this VM for a team. It is for me only. Okay, I'm not going to store my music and photos in that VM, right? You will keep them on your host operating systems, not inside VM. So unless I have a reason for this volume, I should not have it. But I'm giving you an example. I have given you a couple of examples. So I'm going to hit now cancel. I changed my mind. Why? I will tell you. This 4.5 GIB I will keep in my volume group. Volume group name is RHEL. And I can allocate that to any other volume if I need, or I can create a new volume later. So for now, this is fine. Take a screenshot of it. This is a nice working layout of your RHEL9 system. Okay, let's click done and then accept the changes. All warnings are gone. Should we start? No. We go to this K term is enabled. I'll uncheck it. I don't need it. Next, go to software selection. Software GUI, we already decided we don't need it. So I'll go with server. And there is another thing called minimal installation, and you have other choices too. So I'll go with server. So server with GUI and server, the difference is you can see when I select server GUI, I don't see here no GNOME. When I select this GNOME shows up. Okay, so that is you will get a desktop environment also, the GUI. Okay, so you open Firefox browser, you open some uh, Excel or PowerPoint related stuffs, maybe from some open source, open office like that. So I don't need them, so I'll select server. And here on the right hand side, if additional components are required for my purpose or for your purpose, we can select it. Okay. So usually I do this legacy Unix compatibility, console internet tools, and if I need Apache basic web server like that. But I will uncheck them because if anything I need, I can install later. If I select anything now, for example, legacy Unix compatibility, it will install some packages which I don't need, such as RSH, probably Telnet. Telnet may come from here, console internet tools. So console internet tool is like you run browser in a CLI mode. So if anything you need, you can install later. So let's keep it default server. Click done. One thing, wait. I do wish to have this graphical administration tools, but again, I can install it later. I usually keep it. So let me keep it done. That will install cockpit, I think. Okay, so everything is selected and we are good. All other values look fine. You can change time and date zone for your region. I'm in India, so I'll select Asia Kolkata. I'm going to hit begin installation now, and it's going to take some time. The video is already over 23 minutes, almost 24 minutes, so I'll hit the pause button for now. So we can see the message complete is there. So let's reboot the system. Just ensure that when you reboot the system, the ISO image is automatically disconnected. You can check it here, device optical drives. Okay, currently it is showing connected. So after reboot, it should not be connected. Otherwise, installation will begin from scratch. If it happens, just power off the machine forcefully and remove it from settings and storage. Okay, so reboot the system. You can ignore those warnings if any. Okay, now we got the login quickly. So I'll enter my username. Okay, I'm logged in. Let's run df command with -h, small and tp in caps to see the disk layout. So temp is consuming only 3%, almost nothing. Slashware 2%, root 11%, slashware 2%. Okay, so quite uh, we have quite enough disk space left. But don't get confused or fooled. If you see, oh, slash TMP, it is just 47 MB used. So next time I can keep it, maybe half in the size, 1 GB or 500 MB like that. No, no, no. Because the installation creates temporary items, temporary files, and they are large in number and size. So after installation, cleanup happens, and that's why you see the consumer space is freed up. Okay. Next thing, we selected two network adapters. So we will add just verify. I can see the net adapter is my ENP0S3 and the IP is assigned there. And ENP0S that is my second adapter, which is host only, and IP is assigned to it. Okay. So both IPs are there. I can use the first one for my anything that I want to download from the internet. So that connection will go through ENP0S3 and all internal communications from this VM to another VM will go through this. So I will use this IP. Let me do this now. I'll pause for a few seconds and launch PuTTY. Click accept. Okay. So the IP that I assign to this system, not manually, it is coming from my DHCP. Now this time I will use the other user I created, and that's it. You see here, system CTL enable now cockpit because we selected that graphical system administration, selection in the while we were selecting the server type. So cockpit has been installed automatically and I can use the GUI to manage this system. Well, how many packages we got in this installation? About 678 packages. Okay. So things we have verified already and it's a good setup. The machine is ready for use. You can install anything you like further. Okay. For example, let's see NS lookup. It is already there, right? So if I selected minimal installation, then NS lookup would not be there. Dig would not be there. Okay. So I selected server without GUI. So it has most of the steps, or you can say everything except for GUI, the desktop environment. That's the difference. So next time if you select minimal installation, you will not see even an NS lookup. I have done this, so I know. Well, guys, there are many things we can do right now, but this video is almost 30 minutes long. So I'll stop here this time. And if you face any challenges, just let me know in comments. Share this video with your friends. Hope you like it. If you like it, click the like button, guys, and hit the subscribe button. Your support is appreciated. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.